Hello, everyone. I hope you're doing well today, and thank you so much for joining me. Today, we're going to focus on keeping your teams engaged, but in particular in a hybrid environment. As you know, many of you probably are even working from home these days. So that seems to be the way of the future, teams being in a remote as well as in-person environment. So let's touch on that for today. So we know there's a rise in flexible work schedules across the country. This has proven to leave people happier, more productive, less stressed, and even less likely to leave their employees. Does that sound familiar? I'm sure it does. I know it does for me. So 1 in 2 people say that they will not return to their employers who aren't offering remote work options. We know that remote work is critical, and at least a hybrid option needs to be in place. A global study of almost 9,000 workers stated that 83% preferred a hybrid work environment, being able to work at home, but also in the office. 39%, and that's a huge number, would consider quitting if their employers weren't offering flexible work remote environments. Does that sound familiar for anyone? I think in April, the government came out with a stat of over a ridiculous amount of employees left their jobs due to not being offering flexibility in their work environment. And feel free, like Susan said, to jump in anytime, write a question in the chat box if you need. So this cartoon basically says, I used to think my teammates had nothing to offer, but now I really actually value their contributions. So what made you change your mind? I started listening to what they had to say. Listening and communication is key, because engagement essentially is the outcome of the employee experience, regardless of their location. So think of yourself now, whether you're a team member on this call or whether you're in management. How do you or your employees feel about your jobs? Are you invested in the company's mission? And are you proud of how you contribute? Or are you just going in and clocking in and out each day? But we know in a hybrid workforce, engagement is even more critical and is challenging. How do you keep those employees who are sitting at home engaged as much as those that are in your office? When employees have less in-person time, it's important to know how to make them feel and act as if they're part of the team. Any questions? So why is engagement so important in today's workforce? Because we know, and research has shown, that engaged employees perform better. It helps the company's bottom line. There's less absenteeism, there's 23% higher profitability, and the employees stay longer because their morale is better. In a recent study of 5,000 employees who said that their culture improved during their remote workplace, they were 2.4 times more engaged in what was going on. And part of the reason is because there was trust built. Leaders had no choice but to realize that their employees, regardless if they were home or in the office, were still producing, and that they had to trust them regardless of their location. So I'm a research person. So here are some stats that are quite interesting and support the theory of the hybrid environment and how to improve engagement. 59% of employees say that their work-life balance improved with remote work. Well, that seems pretty obvious. They were able to do what they had to do at home, but still work because they could work no matter what hour it was. But only 9% of remote workers want to actually return to the office full time, which means more than ever, it's important for leadership to understand the hybrid environment and how to keep employees engaged. 87% of leaders across the country and globally are now going to allow a choice for their employees on how and where they will work. That is over 38% from last year. Listen to this. 9 in 10 organizations plan to combine the remote and on-site work. You're seeing that in major companies across the country, but even the smaller companies are now saying, come to work in the office 2 days, 3 days, work remote 2 days, whatever it is. They're giving their employees a choice. 64% of employees would prefer a permanent work remote spot over a $30,000 pay increase. So this gives a new thought to leadership. Do we tell our employees that they can work remote, but maybe there's a salary adjustment, maybe it's not, but those are the questions that leaders have today to think about. So what do leaders need to do in this new hybrid environment to make sure engagement is high? They really, really have to be intentional about setting guidelines around collaboration and communication. We know that communication is key to building a corporate culture. So the obvious, video calls, video camera usage so people can see each other, video conferencing so people can connect. Those are the obvious, but leaders need to make sure they're open to feedback. Asking their employees of their preferences, and often when leaders don't necessarily want to agree with what the employees are saying. Many big companies today are breaking into small coffee chats. These are where a small group of employees can talk amongst themselves to hear feedback in a safe space. They know that sharing their concerns is important. Communication will overcome hurdles in this new environment. Remember, the employees really want to be productive. They like to work, but they also want to have control of where, when, and how they work. And they expect their businesses to provide those options. During the pandemic, it was proven that the workers were productive. Many companies saw an increase in profitability and productivity. We're now returning.
Hi there, hope you enjoyed that last clip. My name is Michael Maludis, and if you'd like to watch the full 60 minutes of that last webcast, while also gaining complete unlimited access to our entire library of IT learning, simply visit our subscribe page at greatpro.org/subscribe. Unlimited annual access is $199 per year, but if you use the coupon code LEARN to earn, you can drop that membership fee to just $149. That's less than $13 per month for unlimited access to over 1,000 hours of on-demand career development, covering the entire spectrum of IT management best practices, including business analysis and requirements, software development, quality and testing, risk management, process improvement, project management, and even digital transformation. But your membership doesn't just give you unlimited access to our vast learning library. You also get free access to our mobile app, as well as direct access to our network of over 300 of the world's leading IT consultants, all of whom are dedicated to putting practical knowledge at your fingertips so that you can learn more and earn more. I hope you will join me in becoming a member of the Great IT Professional and advancing your career with us. And if you're on YouTube, don't forget to hit that subscribe button above so that you get notified whenever we publish new free webcasts each week of the year. Thank you for your time and best wishes for your continued success.